Hey guys, welcome to the stream here. Just having a little trouble getting Instagram up and running here, so there we go. Now we're up and running. So welcome to this week's live. Thought that we would cover some hobby news and updates, and then besides that, we'll talk about some plays that'll help you make some money, and then we can go on and enjoy our Wednesday evening. So I thought I might have a special guest tonight, but did not work out. So stay tuned. We might have a special guest next week. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Kurtz Card Care. A lot of news this week with Kurt's submission with the Jackie Robinson, where because he had the video that showed that he had soaked the card, they decertified it. They talked about PSA came on, said that they're going to try all these new methods to try and detect it. They wanted to make an example of Kurt, so they made an example by decertifying that card as well as every other card from his submission. I think that's total horse crap. If they couldn't catch it when it was there, they shouldn't have been able to do it. If I was Kurt, I'd sue him, but I think Kurt's too nice for that. But that does mean that moving forward, I'm either going to have to, when I show you guys some restoration or cleaning tips on cards, I'm either going to have to not publish it or pull it down right away when I submit it, so there's no evidence. I don't need any of my cards getting decertified. But speaking of that, so because of that, I did not for this episode show the pictures, but if you go to Kurt's Card Care on his Instagram, he's got some pictures up right now of the ink transfer on the back of the Topps Chrome autos, especially the collegiate ones. The McDonald's one specifically with Bronny James. I know there have been a lot of talk about this, so I purposely went out and looked for a Bronny James with ink on the back of it to see whether or not I could make it better. I used Kurt's spray, and I was amazed at how easy it came off. It took me about 10 minutes, and within 10 minutes, I had all the ink gone. I sent pictures of it to Kurt, told him how great it was, and to maybe put out a public service announcement that this might be a new method for flipping sports cards. I bought this Bronny James for pennies on the dollar because the guy thought the card was wrecked with the ink on the back of it. So I've got it sent into PSA right now. I am going to get it graded. And I am thinking I should be able to make a $200 to $300 flip on this card once it comes back. I think it's going to come back a 9, outside chance of a 10, but I think it's going to get a 9, and that should give me a $200-ish flip because I bought it so cheap with the ink on the back. So if you run across those, don't be afraid of them. Go ahead and pick the cards up. If you've got Kurt's Card Care, you can clean it off. Hey, Joel, I see Joel in Instagram commenting on me buying Bronny. Yeah, that is pretty wild, but I wanted to see whether or not I could get that ink transfer to come off with the Kurt's Card Care, and it came off really nicely. So if you guys are interested, message me. I can send you the pictures, or go to Kurt's Card Care on Instagram. He's got the before and the after pictures up on his Instagram site right now because he was impressed with how well it came off as well. So, yeah, School Creek Cards, thanks for joining. Card Snatcher, thanks for joining. I am on YouTube and IG at the same time right now. So, LeBron Auto Ink removal, very easy with the transfer. That also means, though, if you're cleaning the fronts of the cards with autographs, guys, be very careful because the ink will come off the cards. Let me see if I can share my screen here. I want to cover PSA specials next. So share screen, PSA, there we go. So let's talk about PSA specials. PSA just announced for May, they've got a 10X grading special. What is that? It's up to $300 declared limit. It says a 50-day business turnaround time, but if you watch the interview with Jeff Wilson, the gentleman that the president at PSA said their goal is that within the next couple of months, they are going to have all service levels, bulk and otherwise, with 30-day turnarounds. So it says 50 days. I don't believe it. The bulk has been saying 45 days, and those have been running about 30 days. So I would expect 30 to 45 days maybe, but I think it'll be quicker than 50. But it's 10 cards minimum, and it's a $300 declared value, and it is only $16 a card. So it's a real good deal for some inexpensive cards, and it is the modern cards, the 1980 or newer. Then you've got the Value Bulk Turbo. I thought this was kind of cool. It's up to $500, so it gives you a $200 more declared value. Turnaround time 20 days, so lightning fast turnaround time for $25 a card. Minimum of 20 cards. Any cards 1990 to present. So there could be some usage for this. I just sent in today. Every Wednesday I send in a bulk order. I did not use the Value Turbo today because there was nothing that I needed back that quick. I think they're testing out the waters to see if they can shorten up their turnaround times, whether or not people are going to be willing to pay a little bit more for it. So I think that that's what this is a test run to see whether or not they can raise their prices if they shorten up their time. So I did not jump in on it yet, but I think it is kind of a cool option to have. Hey, School Creek, what are we doing with Churio? I am pretty much sold out of Churio right now. I've got, I believe, 4 out of my 40 Churio cards left. I had been selling them off with Buy It Nows for about the last 30 days. I'm a hold on Churio right now. I think that I think Churio is going to be just fine. It's going to take him some time to get adapted. He's going to figure it out, just like Jackson Holiday. I would not panic with Jackson Holiday cards either. I know he got an 054 batting average or whatever it was in his first 32 at bats. Got sent back down for some more work. I am not concerned about Jackson Holiday either. These kids are really young, and it's not uncommon for them to struggle a little bit, but both of those guys are going to get it figured out. So if you've got Churio or Holiday cards left, hold them. Do not blow them out at the prices that they are at right now. It's too cheap. They will come back. You look at Corbin Carroll cards last year. His cards dropped almost 50% in late April, early May, when he was struggling early in the year. Which is what a lot of these young players do. And then he got hot around the 3rd week of May, and then he never looked back, and his cards just climbed from the end of May all the way to the end of the year. So I could see something like that for Churio and Holiday as well. So don't panic on that. They have a regular grading special, $1,500 or less, 10-day turnaround times. I did take advantage of this on a couple of my vintage cards. I just sent in some of my bigger vintage cards. I think $60 of the 10-day turnaround time is pretty good. So I was happy to see that. For those that do Star Wars, they got a Star Wars special for $14 a card. And they got the Funko Pop special. I don't get into that. And then they got a sealed pack grading special. So these are all kind of cool. Those are the latest and greatest at PSA. So let's see here. There we go. The next thing that we'll talk about is let's take a look at some Caleb Williams cards. I wanted to. This is kind of a mixed bag. So when you look at Caleb Williams cards, for being the number one draft choice, it wasn't a surprise. So therefore, I knew I was trying to sell off most of his cards before the draft. I was successful on all but about 6. I've sold 3 of those, and I've got 3 more at auctions that will end this week. Some of his cards are up and some are down. It's kind of a mixed bag. So I thought we'd take a look at that. So you look at his lava refractor in the last 30 days, down 45%. His chrome prospects refractor, which I had multiple of these. I just sold my last one today for $100, which is good because the last sale was 68. So I was happy I got 100. I sold all the other ones for 150 prior to the draft. And I hung on to one thinking that it might spike a little bit after the draft. And when it tanked, I was disappointed, and I ended up selling it for what I could get, which was $100. His prospect auto down 39%, just his base prospect auto PSA 10, down from 650 to 393. His prospects refractor in a PSA 9 down 34%. His base first card down 30% in a PSA 10, in a PSA 9 down 21%. So I would say the majority of the cards that people were buying to flip since the draft have tanked on Caleb Williams. So lesson learned, your best time to sell Caleb Williams was February through the beginning of the draft. Once the draft happened, that kind of tanked. However, there are some Caleb Williams cards that are up. You've got his purple refractor PSA 9 up 87%. You've got the Invicta PSA 9 up 51%. The Chrome First PSA 9, that is up 51%. But if you look, it went from $15 to $20. So the 50% is really kind of a false number. Nobody really cares that when it costs you $17 to grade it. So, you look $20, $25, $22. The only things of his that are up are the $25, $30 cards. So that was a little bit disappointing for me for Caleb Williams, but lesson learned. All right. Next thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if everybody's heard of this or not, but we are going to bring it up for those that have not. We are going to talk about the fake Victor Wembanyama cards. Has anybody heard of this? There was $400,000 worth of base Prism Victor Wembanyama cards seized in Rochester, New York, as the U.S. Customs coming in from Canada. $400,000. Now, considering that these things are about $80 a piece, maybe, you can do the math. That is a lot of cards. About $80 a piece. So doing the math, that is a lot of cards that they caught. But if they caught those, it makes you wonder how many more are out there. There's a large consignor in China that, if you look at the Victor Wembanyama bases on eBay, over 50% of all the ones listed say they're from China, and they're from a consignor in China. That makes me wonder whether or not these cards that are coming from China are real or fake. But I wanted to talk about it because I just wanted to make sure everybody out there that is following me understood and knew, and that they are being careful with the Victor Wembanyama Prism base cards. there could be some counterfeits out there. So make sure you know what you're buying and who you're buying it from. Joel got toasted on his gold Caleb Williams awful results. Yeah, I tried to warn everybody to sell off before the draft, and I got stuck with a few after the draft as well. But so the difference between before the draft with Caleb Williams, his base prospect first PSA 10s, I was selling them for about $60, and after the draft now I'm selling them for 30. So yeah, it took a bath on Caleb Williams. But anyways, be aware of the fake Wembanyamas. I don't want anybody that follows me to get burned on something like that. Next thing we want to talk about is all the content creators out there talking about the Topps Summit that just took place. I'm sure many of you guys have heard or seen it, but I am going to share it with you guys. I am not 100% sure how I feel about this, but Topps Chrome basketball is coming. It's probably coming in June or July. Victor Wembanyama is going to have a autographed card in this set. They are non-licensed cards. Here's my take on this. It's kind of a hot take. Here's my take. I'm disappointed in Fanatics. I understand why they did it. As a collector, I'm disappointed because I wanted that first Topps Chrome basketball set to be a collectible set. And being non-licensed, I know that the autos will be collectible, and people will chase the autographs because they are licensed autographs. But it's just not the same. It's not a licensed card. I think this is a money grab by Panini, trying to cash in because next year's rookie class isn't going to have a all-time great like a Victor Wembanyama. So I think this is a little. I do think they did a nice job. Topps Chrome always does a nice job. The card looks great. I think the card looks better than their Prism counterparts with the curtain in the background. But I'm just a little bit disappointed with the fact that Fanatics couldn't wait until 2025 when they had the licensing. Even if they'd have backdated it and made a 2024 rookie card set, then combined it and put them together. I just feel this is a money grab by Fanatics. I like Fanatics. I like a lot of what they're doing. I think the cards look nice. I will be buying them because I think they will be flippable. People are going to be chasing them. But collectors like myself that, as everybody knows, I collect as well as I flip. I will not be putting any of these in my PC. I just don't like the fact that they're not licensed. So that's a little bit of a bummer for me. I'm not sure how everybody else feels. Feel free to chime in and let me know what you guys think of the new Topps Chrome basketball. They did say there were going to be 8 different sets altogether. They are coming up with a smorgasbord type set that's going to be similar to like a Chronicles, where there's going to be a bunch of different sets combined. We'll see how that goes when they come out. Here's something that we learned today, or that I learned today, I thought was kind of cool. I'll share this with you guys as well. This is all coming out of the Topps Summit, but the new Bowman, the 2024 Bowman that is coming out, the case hits. Here are going to be the case hits. They're kind of like an animated card. They're all numbered to 5, and it's going to be one of every player. So it'll be a complete checklist, numbered to 5, serial numbered to 5, case hit, one in every case. I think that these are cool looking cards. I think that that's kind of a fun chase. So where I just got done ripping Fanatics for being a money grab on the Topps basketball, I give them kudos on the Bowman 2024 Bowman set. I think the design as well, and I think that the case hits that they came up with, I think that is, I think they did a nice job, and I think that's a pretty cool pretty cool card. All right. So Joel says he's not touching them with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. All right. So let's get into some plays here. I think we brought up all the news. Remember, you've got the National, the Nationals less than 3 months away. It is coming fast. So for those of you that are going, I hope that you've got your rooms and everything and all of your travel arrangements done. If you are planning on going and you don't have your stuff set, I would encourage you to follow Flipping Steve, who I called out a few weeks ago on the show. Flipping Steve will be giving away a full pass to the National, as well as a hotel room and some spending cash. I've donated to his cause for the money, so I would recommend any of you that are interested to go check it out and get in on that giveaway and have a chance to get a free trip to the National. So check out Flipping Steve on YouTube or on Instagram. Before I get into some plays, anybody want to talk some basketballs? I was hoping Gary from Hoops and Cards was going to join me tonight. He's pretty lively right now with the playoffs going on. I'm really intrigued by the fact that for the first time in 15 years, no LeBron, no Curry, no Durant left in the playoffs. They're all done. Is this the official passing of the guard? Are they handing it off to the new guys? I guess we'll wait and see, but is this Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell? Mitchell had a game the other night. Evan Mobley with the block to seal it. Shea, are these guys? Is this the year that the handoff has officially happened? I'm bummed out about my Milwaukee Bucks, but I am excited to see Chris Middleton healthy. Middleton is proving that they did not need to go out and get Damian, as he can drop 40 on any given night when he is healthy. They just needed a healthy Chris Middleton. I think they were a better team last year with Drew and Middleton than they are this year with Damian and Middleton. So I think it's too bad for my Bucks, but I do think that Halliburton and the Pacers are going to knock them out, and they're not going to make it. School Creek says Tatum can't close. Yeah, I guess we're going to find out. I really think this is the year that Boston makes it to the finals. I think it's going to be Boston, Denver, or Boston, and I really think it's going to be Boston, Denver. I just don't know if Shea and the boys are up to the task to knock Denver off in a 7-game series, but we will see. Yes, Michael Porter Jr., the buys that we've been making so cheap since December, they're finally starting to move up. It happens every year. His cards don't get hot until they make the second or the finals, second round or the finals. But now is a good time to be listing them. I've got several of my Michael Porter PSA 10s listed in Buy It Nows, considerably higher than the most recent comps. I'm getting some people on eBay a little upset because they messaged me with offers and I say no thanks. I'm going to hang on to them because they are only going up the deeper the Nuggets get into the playoffs. So somebody's going to have to pay my price, or I will move them down if it looks like they're going to get knocked out, or maybe in the week of the finals or something like that. But anyways, all right, enough basketball talk. Let's get into some plays here. Everybody wants to make some money. And what am I thinking on the silver PSA 10s? You're still talking about MPJ, I'm assuming. Yeah, $100. I think $100 for a silver MPJ would be a good price. Most recently, they've been around 65 to 70. I've got mine listed at 100. I've got my yellow, yellow, green, and blue choice prism PSA 10. I've got that listed at 100. I've got my rookie ticket auto PSA 10, which is a pop 6. Most recent sale was $100. I've got that listed at 200. People are telling me I'm crazy, but last year, one of the 6 cards did sell in the finals for $200. So I might be a little high. I might sell that. I might be willing to take like 150 for it, but I'm a little bit high on that right now just because I don't want to sell it too soon. I want to make sure that I'm getting top dollar for it or close to top dollar. And I'm not worried about hanging on to it because I think they'll be back in the finals again next year. So if I miss that window with the Denver Nuggets, I'm not too concerned about it. Ant-Man is Jordan's kid. The rumors are that a lot of rumors. I don't believe that he is, but he certainly could. The way he plays, he certainly could be. Ant-Man is a beast. I think Ant-Man and Ja Morant are probably the 2 most exciting players, young exciting players to watch in the NBA right now with their high flying dunk ability. They run their mouth a little bit, which is fun to watch. They're just fun. They're prolific. They're electric. I wish Ja wouldn't have gotten hurt, but great buying opportunities right now for Ja Morant. I've been buying up some PSA 10 silver prisms of Ja Morant down in the low to mid 300s, which will profit well come fall. But all right, let's do some plays here for you guys. What I did for plays here is I focused on, because it's football buying season and because I still think the 2020 draft class is the best draft class that we have seen in the last 10, 15 years. I'm really high on the 2020 class. I collect a lot of the 2020 class. I flip a lot of the 2020 class. Last year, I gave you guys the 20 card plays of Burrow, Tua, and Hurts in the Concourse Silver, to where you guys were able to make a bunch of money doing that. If you had followed the instructions, I know I made a ton of money last year doing that. These are all bulk plays. If you want, I can do the 20 card play or the 10 card play, figure out what type of money you could make on it. But these are all plays. As you know, I don't like doing plays if I can't make 50% or better. So these are all plays that are good money making plays. So I've got 10 plays. They're all raw to grade, and they are all from the 2020 draft class. So the first card is 2020 Prism Silver, number 255, Tom Brady. Are you a little surprised it's not a rookie? It's a Tom Brady Silver Prism. Raw right now in Raw, you can buy this card for around $7. The most recent sale was $6.70 on the 29th of April. So $7 buy-in on a Silver Prism Brady. PSA 9s, guys, are selling for $48. So $7, even if you got to pay $10 right now with that 10 times May special at $16 a card, you're going to have $22 to $26 invested in these Silver Prism Brady's. Even if they get 9s, $48, you're looking at a $20 or almost a double your money type play on a PSA 9. If you get a 10, they're $100 and you're going to 5x your money. This is a good play. The PSA 10s gem at 32%. The PSA 9s are at a 54% clip. There are only 521 of these graded, so it's not that there are a ton of them out there, but they are accessible. you can certainly go find this card. It's not a super hard card to find. So first card, Silver Prism Brady. Second card, 2020 Optic Holo card number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Another non-rookie card. Throwing some wrinkles at you guys this week. This card in Raw most recently sold for $5. $5 for an Optic Holo. What is it, a sixth year, 2017, seventh year, Patrick Mahomes. But follow the numbers here, guys. Stay with me. $5 Raw. You got a $16 May special. So you got 21. You got to pay a couple extra bucks. Let's just call it $25 conservatively with shipping, taxes, all-in grading fees. You got $25 and a PSA 9 sells for $31. So even after eBay fees, you're going to break even. PSA 10, you're going to get $80. You're going to 4x your money on a non-rookie, easy to come by 2020 Optic Holo Patrick Mahomes. Now the PSA 10s, the holos aren't great. It's a 26% rate. So you go buy 4 of them. One of them gets a PSA 10. Odds are, based on this, you got a 50-50 shot they're going to get a 9. But you get 4 of these cards. You end up with 1 10, 2 9s, and an 8. All said and done, you'll end up with about a 2xing of your money on 4 cards. So pretty good return on investment for the Optic Holo Patrick Mahomes. The next is the Prism Laser card number 124. Another Patrick Mahomes card. This card most recently sold for $10. $10 plus the $16, 26. Let's call it $30 all in conservatively with taxes, fees, shipping, grading, the whole 9 yards. You certainly should be able to get into these for less than $30, but we'll call it $30. The PSA 9 is $37. So after eBay fees, you break even on a PSA 9. The PSA 10s are $83 for a 4x of your money. The PSA 10s on these are 35%. The PSA 9s are 55%. So there again, go buy 4 of them. You get 1 10, 2 9s, and an 8, and you end up 2xing your money. 2020 Chronicles Vertex. I've never recommended a Vertex card in my life until now. This is a first for Dr. Crack. Card number V4, Jordan Love. I picked this card because you can buy this card in Raw for $7. There have been several sales for the $5 to $7 range. One brought $8, but just call it $5, $7, $8. Call it $10. You're $26 all in with grading fees and shipping. And a PSA 9, $31. So again, after eBay fees, you're going to break even on the PSA 9s. And the PSA 10s are only $66, but they gem at 50%. So you go buy 4 of these cards. You're going to get 2 9s because the 9s are 50%, the 10s are 50%. You buy 4 of them. You get 2 9s, 2 10s. You're going to 3x your money. You're going to have $100 invested. You're going to end up getting $300 back. This is a great play, not a real expensive, easy way to increase your fun money. And you don't need to go buy 32 of them or some crazy number to make a bunch of money. Buy 4 of them. Go to 10. Do 10 of them. You're going to increase your total budget, but you'll increase your money. But just buy 4. Buy 4, 2 10s, 2 9s, triple your money, and that's an easy way to make some money. And Jordan Love cards are only going to go up between now and August. So that's why I am also recommending these plays. All of these plays I anticipate will be higher by the time you get them back from PSA in the end of May, early June. They will be higher, and then you hold them for 30 days, sell them the end of July, early August, and these prices are going to be even higher, increasing your return on investment. Number 5, select club level silver Joe Burrow, card number 246. Last year we did the concourse play. This year we're going to do the club level play. The club, believe it or not, the club level silver, there are enough of these cards out there that we can all go buy a few and have a few left on eBay. Maybe the ones that don't look the greatest, we'll leave those for people that don't watch my show. They can buy up the bad ones. But anyways, raw, they've been going for anywhere. They've been fluctuating between $14 and $20. The 3 most recent sales were $15, $17, and $16. So the most recent sale was $16. We're going to round up just because I want to be conservative. We're going to call it $20. You got a $16 grading fee, so you got $26. We're going to call it $30 all in with taxes, shipping, and grading fees because I want to be conservative. A PSA 9 gets $44. So after eBay fees, you're going to make $6 on a PSA 9. And it's a 50. These are 50-50 here, so 9, 10. The PSA 10 sell for $160. The PSA 10 gem rate's 44%. The PSA 9 rate's 52%. So you go buy 4 of these, and you're going to get, more than likely, you're going to get 2 10s, 2 9s, but you might get 1 10 and 3 9s. Even if you get 1 10 and 3 9s, you're going to 3x your money. So 3xing your money is good. You're going to have, what are you going to have? About $120 invested. And if you get 1 10 and 3 9s, you're going to end up with a little over $300 back. So you'll 3x your money. So a nice little increase your fun money play there. And Joe Burrow is going to get hot as the summer goes on with the National in Cleveland. Your Bengal cards, your Cincinnati Red cards, your Cleveland Brown cards, any of the hot players in those, or Ohio State, those players are going to get hot, and they're going to be very hot at the National, and you're going to have a lot of people looking to buy them to take to the National to try and flip them or trade them there. So sales will be good in July on any of those players from those schools, states, or teams. Number 6, 2020 Chronicles Clearly Donruss, card number RRJL Jordan Love. It's the second Jordan Love card on this list. This card can be bought for most recent sale was $14. It fluctuates between $12 and $16. This card sells pretty often, like 2 per day, it looks like. So it's not a hard card to come by. They are acetates, so they do scratch. So it might be advantageous to use some polish on them before you send them in. If you don't do the polish, you don't believe in it, that's okay. The numbers that you're going to see here you're going to realize why you might want to polish them up. So this card here, $14 to get into it. With the $16 grading fee, you're going to have $30. So let's just call it $35 with taxes, shipping, fees, the whole 9 yards. PSA 9s are selling for $40. So again, after eBay fees, you break even, maybe make a couple bucks on a PSA 9. The PSA 9s are 72% on this card. PSA 10s are only $77, and they're only 8% gem rate. So this is probably the most risky play of the 10 cards, but I wanted to throw it on the list because the acetate cards do polish up really nicely. For those that 8% that are getting the gem 10s, they are probably the guys out there that are polishing the acetate up, making them crystal clear and getting those 10s. But I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that can be done. So I put that card on the list. Also, that card a year ago in August was selling for over 100. So I think that card's going to go up $25 to $30 by the time the preseason rolls around as well. Very high on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Everybody in that Central Division got better. I think that might be the best division in football this year. We will see. Can't do a 2020 play and not talk about Justin Jefferson. So 2020 Prism Laser card number 398, Justin Jefferson. This card sells in raw for most recent sale was $22. Let's call it $25 to give you a couple dollar buffer, $16 to grade it. So we're going to say extremely conservatively $35 all in. PSA 9, 50% chance, sells for $50. So you're going to pick up, $5 to $10 after eBay fees on a PSA 9. A PSA 10 is $132 most recent sale, and it's a 40% gem rate. So there again, go buy 4. I would buy 5 in this case because it helps increase the odds. I would do a 5-card play here if you don't want to spend a ton of money. 5 cards at $35 a piece, you're going to have $175 invested, roughly $185 invested in 5 cards with grading, taxes, shipping, fees, the whole 9 yards. You're more than likely on 5 cards, you should hopefully get 2 10s, 3 9s. If you get 1 10 and 4 9s, you still double your money. If you get 2 10s and 3 9s, you're going to triple your money. So I like that play. I like Justin Jefferson with J.J. McCarthy or Darnold at the helm. Him and Addison are certainly a formidable team of wide receivers. So I think that is a nice play for you to make some money on. 2020 Chronicles Prism Black Silver Joe Burrow card number 1. You don't have to go spend the huge money on a silver prism Joe Burrow. You can get the poor man's silver prism, which is the Prism Black Silver. Raw, this card sells for, most recent sale was $29. It fluctuates. It was as low as $24. It was as high as $35. So we're going to use the high end, $35. You got grading fees. You got $51. So with shipping, taxes, we're going to call it $55 to be extremely conservative. PSA 9 at 50% rate, $74. So you still are going to pick up $15 after eBay fees, $15 after fees on the PSA 9s. The PSA 10, $330. You're going to have a $35 investment where the 10x's your money from $35 to $330. 36% gem rate. This card sells about 1 every other day on eBay, so it's a relatively easy card to come by. This is my favorite play of the 10 plays on here because of the return on investment. You don't need to go spend $1,000 or $1,500 or something crazy buying 10s or 20s or 30s or 40s of a card to try and make $1,000. It's not necessary. This, if you could find 5 good ones, you're going to have, let's call it 5, you'll have $250 tied up with grading fees, card fees, shipping, taxes, $250 on 5 of them. Hey, Logan, thanks for joining, man. So you're going to have about $250 invested in this play. You get 110 at $330. You're up $80, and you've still got 4 cards left for pure profit. This is a play with a 36% gem rate. If you went and you bought 5 of these, you should get 1 or 2 10s. Hopefully you get 2 But if you get 1 10 and 4 9s for a $250 investment, the 9s sell for $75 a piece. So you're going to, at 4 of them, you get 300. You're going to get $650 back on a $250 investment. And that's conservative, guys. You're going to 3x your money. You're going to put an extra $400 in your pocket for going out and spending $250. This is, like I said, this is my favorite play. So Prism, Black, Silver, Joe Burrow, raw to grade. I got 2 plays left, and then I'm going to do a couple of crack and submit plays for you guys before we wrap this up tonight. The next card, 2020 Select Field Level Purple Die Cut, card number 361, Justin Jefferson Color Match. Love this card. Absolutely love this card. It looks phenomenal. I'm a sucker for color match, but I really like this card because of the gem rates. Listen to this. This card most recently sold for $30 in raw condition. They fluctuate from $25 to $35. So we're going to be conservative. We're going to call it $35. Use the $16 grading fee. You got 51. We're going to round up to $55 again because I like being uber conservative here, just so that you way outdo the numbers that I tell you. So $55. The PSA 9 sells for $60. So you are, after eBay fees, at my conservative $55, you're going to lose $2 on a PSA 9. But the PSA 9s are only 28%, which is why I'm not too concerned about it. You're going to come close to breaking even or losing a couple bucks. The PSA 10, guys, of this card has a 68% gem rate. 68%. I personally have sent 5 of these in, and all 5 of mine have gotten PSA 10s in the last year. So this is a card I love to buy and send in raw. I'm 5 for 5 on PSA 10, so I'm helping that 68% cause out. But that card grades extremely well. In a PSA 10, it's $118 most recent sale. So if you've got $55 in it, it's a double up on the PSA 10s. There again, you go buy 4 of these, you'll have $200, $240 invested. With a 68% gem rate, you should get at minimum of 2, probably 3 out of the 4 will be 10s. But even if you get 2, if you end up getting 2, you still come out $100 ahead. So you spend $200, make an extra $100. All right. The last raw to grade play I have for you tonight, guys, is the 2020 Prism Black Silver Jordan Love, card number 4. Again, this is the poor man's silver Prism. They sell very well, so don't feel bad about going the cheaper route. This card sells for more than the Justin Jefferson or the Burrow. This card raw is $40. It's a hot quarterback in Jordan Love. So this is the most expensive play on the list. $40 in raw, 296 sales. So it sells almost 1 per day. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining. You're coming in at the end, but you can go back and watch. So anyways, $40. So you're looking at $16. That's 56. Let's round up, call it $60. PSA 9s are 72. So after eBay fees, you break even. There's a 45% chance at a 9 to break even. There's a 43% chance at a PSA 10. The PSA 10s are $240. So $60 invested, $240 return on a PSA 10. You go buy 4 of these. You get 1 PSA 10. You just paid for your $240. Now you've got 3 PSA 9s or 1 more PSA 10 and 2 more PSA 9s for profit in your pocket. The PSA 9s are $70 a piece. So even if you get 1 10 and 3 9s, you're profiting $200 on a $240 investment. If you get 2 10s you're going to be profiting $400 on a $240 investment, making this my second favorite play of the night. So there you have it, guys. There are 10 plays. You can go back and watch them. There is some money to be made here for anybody that wants to try. Let me know how you do. I'd love to hear when you guys are making money. So especially on the plays I'm recommending you do it. Let me know. Love to hear it. Don't worry about it, Mark. You don't need to be sorry. It's all good. All right. So couple of plays here. These are lower end crack and submit plays. I've done some high end ones in the past. These are some lower end, easier crack and submit plays without spending a ton of money. The first play we're going to talk about is 1982 Topps card number 486, Ronnie Lott. It is his rookie card. Most recently, a BGS 8.5 sold for $40. The 1 year average of this card is $41. So $40 is about what you're going to have to pay for a BGS 8.5 if you run across one. Crack it out, submit it. You got $16, $20. So you got $60 invested in the card. You get a PSA 8 if it drops a half a grade. It sells for $50. You're going to be out with fees. You're going to be out $15 if it drops a half a grade. If it jumps a half a grade to a PSA 9, however, it goes all the way up to a $215 card, and it's a 3x your investment. So I think that is a pretty good risk to take. An opportunity to lose $15 for a chance to 3x your money. Sticking with football, we're going to go to the 1989 score, card number 270, Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, being an announcer, stays in the public, had a great career, very popular quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Famer. It's a double-edged play here because they sell for the same amount of money. The SGC 9.5 recently sold for $80. A BGS 9.5 recently sold for $80. So you can go BGS or SGC 9.5. It's an $80 investment. This play you will lose some money on if it drops to a 9. The 9 sells for $45. So you are looking at taking a $50 risk if it goes to a PSA 9. So there is some risk involved. This is a little bit lower floor than what I typically recommend. However, if it jumps up to a PSA 10, and I have, because this is not a chromium finish, this is a paper card, my statistics say that the SGC 9.5 and the BGS 9.5 crosses over to a PSA 10 at 64%. It's a risk I'm willing to take to lose $50 because the PSA 10 is $450. So your $80, you're going to have $105 with taxes, fees, shipping, grading, the whole 9 yards. You can 4x your money at a PSA 10. 4xing your money for a $50 investment, that's a hell of a lot better chance or risk than to go blow $50 on a break somewhere that you may or may not end up with anything. One more play for you guys. I am going to do a basketball play here for you. It is the 1988 Fleer card number 43, Dennis the Worm Rodman. Wanted to do a basketball card because we are in the playoffs, and I loved Dennis Rodman when he was playing. Very charismatic, great rebounder, always made for a good story. He was fun to watch. The card you're looking for here is an SGC 8.5. Most recently sold just the other day for $24.50. This card has a 1 year average sale of $22. So this $24.50 was actually up a little bit from the 1 year average. If it drops a half a grade to a PSA 8, it sells for $38. So at 24 plus the grading fees and shipping, you'll have $40 in it. You're going to be out about $6 if it gets a half a grade lower. $6 is not a lot to risk. If it gets a PSA 9, it jumps up to $106 and you 3x your money. So those are some Kraken submits. I hope you guys had fun. Hope you enjoyed it. If you got questions, comments, concerns, want to know any opinions, I am here. Reach out to me on Instagram. Shoot me a message. Love hearing from you guys. And that is all I have tonight. There are no questions in the comments. So I am done. Have a great evening. And we will see you next week at 7 o'clock. Have a great week, everybody.